Alrighty, guys, we're back for Pure Burn, and this is an Outlaws at Thunder Junction standard brew, and I'm Redcat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. Check out our burn. We have all 4 shocks, all 4 play with fires. You have a End the Festivities packed in. We have all 4 lightning strikes. Have a couple scorching shots as well. 5 damage is pretty important often. You have more burn packed in with Flick a Coin as well. That extra treasure and card draw actually does go a long way because in this deck list, you really don't mind doing multiple things on the same turn. In fact, you prefer it, especially when you have a Flamebreather or 2 on the board, right? 2 mana, 1/3. As to non-creature spell, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Same concept with Thermo-Alchemist, also making the cut as a 4 of here, 2 mana, 0/3. It has Defender. You can tap it, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you untap Thermo-Alchemist. Nice, not half bad. So yeah, extra treasure and card draw on the Flick a Coin should go the extra mile. More ways to poke the opponent's face, like Chandra Dress to Kill, also acting as a little bit of ramp. Same concept with the treasure token, ramping into this top end, which is actually going to be pretty powerful. Mr. Axonil himself making the cut as a 3 of, as he should be. Honestly, he could be a 4 of if you don't want the Urabrask, but I'm opting for a 1 of Urabrask as well because I think that's going to pair beautifully with the Axonil, but also just like in general in here. So also have a top end of Virtue of Courage, more burn, all right. But then when you play it on the enchantment side, whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile that many cards from the top of your library. You may play those cards this turn. Only a 1 of though, because at 5 mana, that is pretty steep for this build. We're only rocking 23 total lands, one of them being Crucible of Defiance, of course. Now, the adventure side is 2 mana, 2 damage to any target, so it's definitely still going to be worth the 1 of in here, even though we're probably not going to be playing it as the Virtue very often. But we do have other ways in here to go ahead and see more off the top, and that's going to be all for Wrenn's Resolve, which is going to be pretty important in a deck like this. That's why we actually have 5 of the same ability with a single Reckless Impulse making the cut as well. Over in the honorable mentions, pretty important honorable mentions, honestly. Commando Faces Sokenzan is definitely something to consider for this style of list. Same concept with the Mechanized Warfare. I really couldn't just, like, there's just so much packed into the deck list already. I couldn't find room for some of this. Then I also considered Immodane, the Pyro Hammer, for the top end as well. But I think 3 Axonils and an Urabrask are going to be a little bit better. Okay, guys, is that everything already? Yeah, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. Right into that first game, guys. Oh my goodness, I didn't have to wait at all. Ooh, only 1 mountain in this open. And the opponent goes first. We should mulligan, unfortunately. Ah, this is better. But what do I ditch? Honestly, probably one of the mountains. That's probably fine. Okay, they go ahead and plot up the Demonic Ruckus. Shock is not a bad draw at all. Let's see if they get a Slick Shot show off down here. It's going to be Swift Spear. They can probably protect this Swift Spear from a shock, but we should try it, right? Oh, they plot the Demonic Ruckus. We have a free shock on this Swift Spear. We might as well do it on the stack. Beautiful. Good stuff, man. 2 cards for the price of 1. All right, let's set up with that Flamebreather. Yeah, since they plotted before doing anything else that turn, it kind of gave us a free shock where I might have considered not doing it if they had that open mountain. I probably still would have tried it, though. Nice. Codebreaker gets in for some good damage here. Luckily, we still have some burn. Tempted by the Wrenn's Resolve, though. We could see one of our 1 mana burn spells instead. We get a draw on the Ruckus. We could save it for their turn, but I don't think we do. I think we'll do this now, and if we go Wrenn's Resolve, we might not see the burn, and we might start to get into trouble here. We're just going to do this. Let them draw their card, and then swing as well. Okay, do it all while they're tapped out before they can get the Codebreaker above the 2 damage, which would be pretty easy since it has Prowess. drop a Play with Fire. They scry to the bottom. So the good news is it wasn't like a lightning strike or something, because I'm pretty sure they would have hit this Flame Breather, but maybe not too. All right. I guess I guess it really doesn't matter when we play this, since they only have the one mountain and an instant speed. I don't think that mountain's going to hit the Flame Breather for anything, right? The Axonil comes down. Might just be Play with Fire number 2. Nice. I mean, we're taking some significant damage here. They go 1 to the bottom. I wonder what they're looking for. They definitely want to pick up this Axonil somehow. Lightning Strike, and they don't hit the Flame Breather. Okay. I'm okay with this. And a shock off the top. GG opponent. Oh, man. I would have loved to play that one out because Axonil was about to pop off, dude. Let's view battlefield real quick. They're going to get the mountain. We'll still have 3 open after the Wrenn's Resolve. Wrenn's Resolve gets the 4 damage through with the Flame Breather and Axonil combo. That brings them down to 13. With the 3 mana open, we still had the shock, which is going to be another 4. Flame Breather, another 4, right? And then whatever we saw on the Wrenn's Resolve at that point too, we'd still have 2 mana. Beautiful stuff. And then we have the swing as well, since the opponent didn't have any blockers or anything. Yeah, GG. Cool stuff. Going up against mono red and taking it down, it's not going to be unheard of for a burn deck, right? Because still a lot of great targets to burn away. And then if we can actually establish our like late game setup. Couple alchemists. Go first too. All right. I'm going to save this shock for when the alchemists are on the board. I'm going to be very greedy with it. Unless there's a great target, of course. All right. Alchemist number 1. Okay, Zorus colors from the opponent. I guess Alchemist number 2. I don't know what I'm going to do with this shock just yet. We'll see what they end up doing. We have the tap on the first Alchemist, then untap it, then tap it again. Or we could wait till we can tap both, or untap both of the Alchemists. Alright, Synthesizer. We'll tap the Alchemist, poke for 1, let them do their scry, and I think we wait to untap. I think we get as greedy as possible, because we have so much mana too. And while they're tapped out, I think we're just going to dump everything at the opponent's face. I think that's the plan. So yeah, that's what we'll do. More mana. Okay. Yeah, while they're tapped out, probably going to be the Lightning Strike as well. Maybe it should be Wrenn's Resolve for the turn. I guess that does make sense. Untap, see what we see. Another Alchemist. At that point, we'd be running into like a board wipe, right? The same thing, man. While they're tapped out, Alchemist, and I guess a Lightning Strike. I'm tempted by the other Alchemist. But then they drop mana. Okay, then we'll keep both of these Alchemists open for the opponent's turn, I suppose. Yeah, so if I would have thought that I was playing Resolve before the land, then we definitely wanted to do that. That way we, like, if we saw double mountains, we wouldn't have gotten punished for that. Even so, at that point, we wouldn't need that much mana. But I guess we'll see. Yeah, so they do drop their 4th mana. So if it was a depopulate and like they wiped 3 Alchemists, that would have been devastating. Oh, Steel Seraph. Okay, any amount of life gain. Any amount of life gain versus burn is super scary. Pass to combat. Luckily, it doesn't have haste or anything. All right. Tapping the Alchemist at the very last minute. Bring the opponent down to 10. Crucible. Man, this is a lot of mana. Crucible doesn't have like a great swing anyways. I guess it's going to be Mountain. We have so much land. The Alchemist is going to go away at the end here anyway, so we're going to play the Alchemist. Doesn't look like it's going to be a board wipe from the opponent, but I mean, it still could be. They're going to be gaining a little bit here. While they're pretty tapped out, I am going to take the moment to do the shock. I would have held that Lightning Strike back had I known something like Steel Seraph was going to land. And maybe that should have been something to anticipate. Okay. Alchemist. Alchemist. Shock. Yeah, while they're tapped out here pretty well. Bring the opponent down to 6, and they're going to be gaining 3 next turn. We're definitely going to need to see something other than a mountain off the top. We'll keep these Alchemists back just in case, I suppose. And tap them at the very last moment again. Good damage overall, huh? Ooh, they're going to take one of these. Okay. And then they get another synthesizer token. Right? DDO. Okay, so we definitely want to activate this before they take it. Do the Alchemist as well. You know what? Axonil off the top would be crazy. If we get to keep 2 of these Alchemists. Oh, except for the fact... Well, yeah, no. It depends. Either way, they're going to give lifelink to the 5/5. We're going to take that damage for sure. They're going to go back up to 9. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. There we go. I thought we froze. I thought that was the end of the game. Shock. Hey, all right. It doesn't... Like, we need to deal with that Steel Seraph, though. So Crucible can provide some chump blockers for us. Yeah, any amount of extra burn, totally fine for now. You know, with the triple Alchemist on the board, this shock is actually kind of crazy. If we actually had all 3 of them, right? Because we tap all 3, drop the shock, then tap all 3 again. That would have been 8 damage. Kind of crazy, man. Okay, Crucible open, shock open. Or do we just do it while they're almost tapped out? I suppose we could do that too. Alchemist goes onto the stack so we can tap them first. I suppose we do it now, right? Because in these decks, they have the 3 mana counter spells with 3 steps ahead. And since they only have 2 mana, we're just plugging in some extra damage. They're going to be gaining so much life, though. Oh, no. This might be my fault, man. Because I used that Lightning Strike on that one turn instead of saving it for something important. But we didn't know the Steel Seraph was going to come down. Light Stone, Weak Stone. Okay. Losing our creatures one at a time. And they're going to be buffing the constructs well above. We want to make sure we activate that. Yeah, well above what we're able to deal with here. Especially since they're going to give 1 lifelink for sure. Man, we got a lot of burn power packed in, don't we? Realm Breaker, all right. So their constructs are going to be 8/8s, or 9/9s. They're going to go back up to 13 here. Oh, geez. Instead of chump blocking, maybe we should just take this damage, huh? They go for the full swing. Now, we're going to survive the turn just to see what's on the top, you know? So we'll chump that, I guess, and then take 12 and keep the extra 1 for no great reason. Yeah, sure. Do it like that. Down to 3. Tap the Alchemist, bring the opponent back down to 12. Axonil, you're a turn late, bro. Oh my goodness. We're 2 turns late. Dude, this is a draw and a half. Oh my goodness. It's too bad we lost all of our Alchemists. Man, all the more reason to consider 4 of these, huh? Dude, that could have been anyone's game easily. Good game, opponent. These synthesizer lists are super terrifying. Spring-loaded saw blades. Cool. 5 damage to target tapped creature an opponent controls. It has that craft with an artifact here. We've seen this once or twice. It's neat that it has flash and everything too. But it's not like 3 mana, so it doesn't work with the synthesizer in that sense, but it works with all like the extra artifacts and whatnot. But I forget if I dropped the GG for the opponent, so I'll drop them the GG again. Oh, did I freeze? No. What is happening, dude? My game's struggling. That's scary. Hopefully we don't freeze today. All right, 50% win rate. Dude, after that, I'll tell you what, I kind of believe in this list right now. There's just so many cool ways to put mono red together. And I feel like that could have easily gone either way. And I'll tell you what, if we saw a little bit less land at the beginning too, I think we could have burnt them away before they were able to establish that much. Even with their first swing getting that lifelink. I think like one of those turns, like the turn after their first lifelink swing, we saw a little bit less land with all those alchemists out there. Oh, buddy. Yeah. Not bad. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. There we go. I was going to say, everyone else's game crashed at the exact same time. And so now we're not going to find the next game. I always get a little bit scared after like the 20-second mark because usually we find games so incredibly fast. All right, I like seeing the Flamebreather with a double play with fire. Opponent going first here. If it's Selesnya enchantments, we should be scared because there's so much life gain in that. Thalia. Ew. Not Thalia versus my burn. Oh, jeez. I'm going to get the Flamebreather established and hope that it's not going to be like Brutal Cathar or something on turn 3. But at least we can pay 2 for Brutal Cathar. Gala Greeters. Skrelv. Go for ramp, maybe? Go for ramp. Tapped treasure token. Dude, that Thalia obviously has to be burnt away, but I think establishing that Flamebreather first makes a little bit more sense right now. Another Axonil off the top. Okay. So before they get any more alliance triggers on the greeters, we'll probably want to do as much burn this turn as possible and get a good swing in too. So let's start by taking out the Thalia for 2 mana. We'll swing at the Flamebreather because I'm pretty sure they don't block. But if they do, then, I mean, we're very happy to accept that. Yeah, they do take the 1. And then before they untap, we should burn away the Gala Greeters, right? I believe so. Because the Skrelv is extra protection. Yeah, they would just activate the Skrelv for sure to protect against the play with fire. So we want to do all that on our turn. Thalia number 2. That's a problem. Everything in our hand is too expensive to hit it now. Ooh, Mountain. Hello, Mountain. Right on time. Do we just like establish Axonil though for the turn? Like flick a coin could be cool. Hit the Thalia. Treasure draw. No, we should get this Axonil down. Yeah, we definitely should. I'm not gonna risk that swing. They have a treasure and a prairie over here open with the Thalia. Well, I guess. Yeah, I don't think it would be worth risking that swing. Couple map tokens and Temple of Power comes back, and I'm not even concerned because we have Axonil number 2. Which I'm going to play. Yes, I am going to play. And we'll activate both map tokens on the Flamebreather. I guess we probably should have done that beforehand because this is actually a decent swing then if we get some counters, but man, 23 mana does not feel like 23 right now. It feels like 25. Axonil. You know what? I'm keeping it. That's our third one. All right. They do have a treasure. I suppose it could be like Elspeth's Smite. So I guess I'll hold it back. Since I called the deck Pure Burn, we really shouldn't swing unless we have guaranteed swing. And running into like a Thalia block into like an Elspeth Smite would be brutal because of that first strike. Vision of Gabakhan. I don't know what they want to hit here, honestly. Gonna cost 2 more. Both of these would be a good hit for the opponent. Alright, Wrenn's Resolve now cost 5 mana. Okay, Axonil number 3 off the top for when they find removal for the first one. But how we're going to do this... Play the Mountain. We have so much mana, but it's going to be flick a coin. We're just going to go all in at the opponent's face, I suppose, right? Probably for the best. Flick a coin, see what we see on top. We get a treasure and a draw. Mountain. And flip the other Axonil now. No, that's not worth it. We do have 4 if they do have some kind of fancy blocks here. I guess we'll full swing because the Axonil is a 4/4 with trample too. So we go for the block. Is it going to be something fancy? Do you suppose? They don't know what's in hand here too. It is not something fancy. We still get the 3 trampling through, get the opponent down to 4. And now we have Wrenn's Resolve for 4 now that the Thalia is gone instead of needing the 5. GG opponent. Good stuff, man. I'll tell you what, this Axonil just outperforms every time I play. Every single time I play. Deserving of the God title, I'll tell you what. Dude, I'm building confidence with the list. Let's keep the ball rolling. I think we can easily keep these victories coming. About halfway through the video. Right into the next game. Okay. Okay. This is probably a mulligan. That's too much of our late game. With only a Play with Fire to back up the early. Yeah, I suppose. Oh, much better. I like this. I don't know what to get rid of though. Maybe just one of the Play with Fires. Since Burn is the majority of the deck, well, I guess... Well, I don't want to get rid of a Mountain. And Reckless Impulse can always help us find more Burn too, so... I think that makes the most sense. And I'm going to get greedy with this Play with Fire unless we have a terrific target here. Commercial District. No Surveil from the opponent. Alright, another Mountain on the top. Let's get that Flamebreather down. We might want to talk about 22 if we end up flooding in more of these games, but overall, I guess it wasn't too much of a flood. It just kind of feels like it's a lot more. But see, then moments like this too, like we're really going to want to get to our 4th mana. Alright, let's start with the swing. Get the 1 through. Flamebreather. With the Jetmir's Garden, do we save this for their turn? Or just do it now and get a couple extra damage through? I guess we save it because there might be a good creature that we'd want to hit. But they could also like drop removal. No. It was worth saving. Fight Rigging. Okay. I think the scry on this Play with Fire is going to come in handy. Alright, let's do this. Play with Fire. Double Flamebreather damage. Lightning Strike. Yeah, we should probably keep that. I think I'm going to go Reckless Impulse this turn anyways, but... Yeah, if we see Mountain on the Impulse, then we might as well just do everything on this turn. Okay, Mountain and an Axonil as well. Wow. We'll go for the swing, and they're tapped out right now, guys. Do we go for the lightning strike, or do we do what we did last turn and save it open? I suppose we can save it open. Yeah, for not having much top end, we're really seeing our top end. We only have 3 Axonils and an Urabrask. Hammer Skull, they're going to get their free fight rigging card. We should be scared. We should be very scared. It could be anything. Oh. Angel Fire Ignition. Dude, we just got wrecked. How do we get around this? They're going back up to 20. How do we get around that? Like, they could just play mana next turn and do that again. Since it has Vigilance, too. It doesn't even tap down with the stun counter. Oh, jeez. Do I save this Lightning Strike for when the Axonil hits the board? Or do we do it now? 5 damage through, get the opponent down to 15, set up with the Axonil, potentially have to chump with a Flamebreather, and then hope that we see more instants off the top? Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know about this one. That was a wild hit for the opponent. That extra lifelink is crazy. We're just gonna hope to see more and still play it out the way we were planning to. The Vigilance on the Hammer Skull is actually really sick. Alright, no attacks. Yeah, if this was tapped down, this would be a lot less scary, and maybe we would have saved the Lightning Strike back. Lightning Helix. Opponent goes back up to 18. They plug a counter onto the Hammer Skull. They decide to save a blocker. That's good news for us. And they missed their 4th land too, which I suppose is also good news for us since they hit. That's just such a wild hit on the fight rigging. Mana off the top is not great. But Urabrask comes down for the turn. We're going to be forced to chump, though. And we definitely need to see something that's not a land on the top here for sure. But when they go fight rigging onto Hammer Skull, that's 11. We're forced to chump. It's going to be the Flamebreather. But it could be... Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Guys. Guys, another Angel Fire Ignition. Alright, Flamebreather, chump, down to 1. Dude, opponent's deck list is actually really sick, and they don't even need their 4th mana. Alright, a shock off the top. That's a 13-13 Hammer Skull. And they're not worried about these stun counters at all. That's crazy, man. Alright, shock the opponent's face. They're at 31. It doesn't really matter, but it's still a good chunk of damage overall. I guess they don't have trample unless they find that mana, which they probably find their 4th. It's been quite a few turns to miss their 4th. There it is. Dude, Angel Fire Ignition. Good game. Tripling down for the victory. It's one of those cards, man. It's like, why? Why don't we see this that often? It is very rare. Neat deck, opponent. I kind of want to see what else is in there. Probably more top end to hit with the fight rigging, and probably more early creatures that are nice and chunky, right? We didn't see like a fight rigging number 2 or anything, so I suppose it might not have even been a fight rigging build, but I'm pretty sure that was. I think that like that whole concept with the Angel Fire Ignition and everything, right? I think so. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. Deck win rate back down to 50%, but it's like I said, I kind of building confidence with the list. One thing that I'm a little bit less confident about right now is actually the 23 mana. It feels like too much, which is surprising to me. Because there's going to be so many turns, too, where we want to do 2 2-mana things on the same turn. Oh, my. All right, let's keep this. Let's give it a shot. We have the Scry on the Play with Fire on turn 1 here. And I think we'll be okay. We're going for it too. Oh my. Okay, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. A little bit awkward, but it's fine. It's fine. Second mountain from the opponent. Bloodthirsty Adversary is a great target for the shock. Let's go ahead, get you off the board, and save the other one. Okay, Thermo-Alchemist, good. Excellent. We still have a shock open. Of course, the Alchemist would have been much better last turn, but I kept the Axonil on top, so. Godric gets around the shock, and they definitely swing here. We're just going to take the 3. Yep, hold it all back for now. Play with fire. Okay. Okay. So I kind of want to get rid of that Godric. Maybe keep the play with fire open then. I guess. Man, it would be much better if Axonil was on the board for this, though. Okay. Risky play. But I think getting rid of the Godric is worthwhile. And tap the Alchemist on the stack. Luckily, it stops it for you. And we'll keep the Alchemist as a blocker and have the Play with Fire open. Yeah, we're kind of like running out of cards very fast here. Luckily, as far as like 2-for-1s go, that wasn't that bad because we were also hitting the opponent's face pretty good. So Swiss Spear is a good target for Play with Fire, but something tells me Play with Fire ends up missing anyways. And then blocking the Swiss Spear would be very risky too. Oh. Okay. So on the stack of the Prowess, we can take out the Swiss Spear. I really want to Scry, but this is much better and much less damage. And we tap it again. They put us down to 13, but we are out of cards. Luckily, they're running low on cards too, but... Ooh! My game! Maybe I should restart. Okay, Flick a Coin gets us ramp into the Axonil and card draw, and we get to take out that Phoenix chick. We do it on our turn, so that way they don't buff it on their turn with like a Monstrous Rage. Flamebreather, not bad. Oh, Adversary with 5 mana on the board is huge for them. That's 6 damage this turn, bringing us down to 10. Opponent's in this, dude. But I think we're in this too. Now that we have the 4th mana for the Axonil. Scorching Shot. It's pretty good, actually. It's the Adversary. Like anything like that, like even a Lightning Strike would have been good. We should establish the Axonil for the turn, though, because it's pretty hard for red to deal 4 damage sometimes. Unless they got, like, Scorching Shot. We opted for Scorching Shot over, like, a Witch Stalker Frenzy, because we're not attacking too much in here. So they're wondering, do we risk the block? Can they bluff, like, a combat trick or something? And or not bluff. They might have the Monstrous Rage in hand. Although I think that they would have just swung at that point. Take the 3 down to 6 or keep Axonil around. If we block and they lose the Adversary and they drop like a Play with Fire, at the very least when Axonil dies, it's not getting exiled because Etching isn't on the board yet. So we should block. We should. As much as I want to keep Axonil around... Oh, it's a full Lightning Strike too. So that's all damage that's not hitting our face. Okay, Temple of Power and mana off the top. Well, Scorching Shot will be 1, 2, 3. We'll be 1 mana short from dropping a Scorching Shot and flipping Axonil back when it comes time for them to get a creature. Dude, anyone's game. It's a top deck war now. Squee, nice, dude, holy cow. That's going to be 3 getting through because I don't want to block that. I want to keep Flamebreather around for a little bit longer here. Into 6. Oh man, I don't know why our game is freezing like that. Hey, mana off the top isn't half bad. Now we get the Scorching Shot on the Squee. They can easily bring the Squee back, but it won't have that additional counter. But then also, the main reason to do that as well is to flip the Temple of Power back. We want to keep a blocker for sure, because Etching flips and they can easily bring Squee back next turn. So no attacks. Dude, holy cow, anyone's game, huh? Yeah, and then here's like a moment where it's like, well, if we consider 22, then like, look, like we need so much mana in here all the time, but then sometimes you just don't. I don't know. Maybe 23 is a sweet spot, and I'm just complaining too much, right? Yeah, they're going to be bringing the Squee back. They're deciding which cards to exile. And then we can block the 1/1 take 4 down to 2. If we don't win next turn, our top deck has to be huge if we're going to plan on winning next turn. Down to 3. Even so, we're probably dead. They could power up Mishra next turn. Squee's going to give them another 1/1 anyways. Keep the Axonil back. So I suppose we'll block the Goblin, because pretty much any top deck from the opponent is going to secure them the victory. Dude, every time it does that, oh no, Axonil off the top, no. And then earlier I was like, oh, well, maybe we want to consider 4 of them. But here's a perfect example of why we only have the 3, right? The legendary gonna hold you up every now and then. All right, we keep the blockers back, and we are, in fact, dead. Man, this really could have gone either way. I kind of feel like we got a little unlucky, honestly, but maybe not. I dumped a lot of early burn, and I just dumped it out of our hand. So maybe I could have just played that earlier game a little bit better too. Yeah, GG opponent. They're gonna, of course, fully play it out here. They get the Phoenix chick back as well. Oh man, so we were super dead. So Squee, and we will just block you. Drop the good game. Weird. Well, first of all, we're 37 minutes in. Deck win rate down to 40% now. We got to bring this back up to 50% at least, because I really do believe in the list. I'm going to go ahead and restart the game, though, real quick. So let me go ahead, pause the recording. Okay, game has been restarted, and we found our next opponent. What you bringing to the table, buddy? Okay, this is keepable. Let's do it. We're going to get greedy with that shock and the play with fire. Scorching Shot, nice. I'd say we start with the Alchemist. Well, what creature do we want on the board more? They both do the thing. Oh, no. Oh, no, not like this. Oh, dear. All right, we should probably take care of that, I suppose. While we have it open, right? Scorching Shot's going to be terrific here. Tamiyo safekeeping open for the opponent. Oh, buddy. Do we take care of it now, or do we establish something? Oh, crap. I'm going to go Flamebreather. If for some reason they don't buff the Visitor, then Flamebreather's a better blocker here. If we Naturalist, they still got 1 mana open, could easily be Ossification. They don't swing. Chandra, okay. Okay, number 1, lifelink has to go, period. But guys, safekeeping. Dude, crap. Okay, so let's go Chandra. Chandra didn't get to show off at all today in any of the games. All right, go for the plus.
Fancy dress means I didn't come here to fight.
And the play with fire. Oh no, here we go. No, double safekeeping. Dude, we're in so much trouble. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. We could only hope that them having double safekeeping means they're not going to pop off too much here. We can only hope. Chandra's probably out of this equation. Oh, they do full swing at the Chandra. With 2 mana open, we're going to block the Visitor and see if Chandra can actually survive the turn then. And it goes up to 24. Mana off the top isn't bad, but while Chandra's on the board, I mean, it kind of is, I guess. Alchemist, flick a coin. The middle ability on Chandra wouldn't be bad. What do you guys think? Third Tamiyo safekeeping? Or do you think we got this time? I'm going to go top ability. Extra poke. Have enough for flick a coin on the same turn as the Scorching Shot.
You're lucky this is a warning shot.
Oh, no. Third Tamiyo safekeeping. No. Oh, no, guys. Oh, no. Dude. Okay. Okay. Flick a coin on the Fang, I guess. Get something off this board. Maybe I should have started with the flick a coin on the Fang. Maybe they would have protected it. Probably not, though. Right? Because we would have had so much extra mana open still. Another Alchemist isn't bad. I'm pretty sure... I mean, we're alive for now, but this Naturalist is going to be awful. How many Transients? Chandra's out of this equation. We're just going to go ahead, let Chandra take all that damage. No blocks. Just in case. I guess technically they've already had 3 tricks up their sleeve. It could be more. Crucible. Now we really desperately need burn for this Naturalist. I'm going to keep Crucible as utility, of course, right? Because we do have a lot of mana already. I'm going to establish both Alchemists. No attacks, end the turn. I'll tell you what, man. Triple safekeeping, at least it meant less. It meant less overall. Take the Naturalist. We'll block like this. Down to 17. Opponent is at 29, and we see mana off the top. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Hey, we might have a good double block with the Crucible. Based on, like, what they've been playing, like, they're missing some of their enchantments, funny enough. I want to swing at the Flamebreather. Is there a chance? Probably not. There might be, like, a small sliver of hope. And so that 1 point of extra damage might be okay. They're going back up to 31 next turn regardless, so... And we have two pokes with the Alchemist. The game seems a little less laggy after I gave it a reboot. Oh, ossification has finally been found from the opponent. Probably take one of the Alchemists just so that way we have less blockers and they can start getting more damage through too. Kami Transient's going up to a 4/4. We gotta double block that Visitor and just take some damage here, I would say. How do you guys feel about that? And then we could block with this other Alchemist, but it's also like kind of our only hope. Like our creatures that have already been established is kind of like our only hope. I guess it could be Tamiyo's safekeeping number 4. Double block Visitor, take the 7 down to 10. We really need to see something that's not mana. Tamiyo's safekeeping number 4. Opponent. Oh no. That's awesome, opponent. Oh geez, dude. We just, and a land off the top, bro. We just got wrecked by Tamiyo's safekeeping. I'll tell you what though. I think there was a small chance if the opponent didn't have like the second safekeeping. I mean, honestly, just a great addition for the opponent. But also, that explains why they were missing so many enchantments for so many turns there. Oh my goodness, dude. That's really funny. They found a Fang of Shigeki off the top. To get some buffs here. Where do we block to survive? Because they have Trample on the Kami of Transients. I guess we take the 9. And we block the Visitor like that. Right? Because at this point, I mean, survival doesn't really matter. The opponent's at 34 too, so there's no way we can actually... Hey, we found a shock off the top. You know what? You know what we got to do? We got to hit that Visitor. Let's do it. All right. We found something at least. Tell you what, this 23 mana felt like 25. And I still don't know if we... Oh, I forgot to tap the Thermo-Alchemist. Oh, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I wanted to tap the Alchemist on the stack, of course. Good game, opponent. Good game, buddy. Yeah, pretty much anything after like the third Tameo safekeeping was really just hoping. Like the third one was brutal because we had some pretty good removal. Well, oh, the deck tracker is also broken now that I restarted the game. Oh, unless I clicked through it already. I'll have to restart the game again before I record the next video. Okay, guys, let's go ahead, go over the deck list again. Hold up, end the video pack. Let's do it. Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Brutal stuff, man. I really believed in the deck. Hell to pay. Cool. I think that's my 4th one, actually. I don't know like what deck is going to want 4 of these, but yeah, kind of a neat one to get. Guys, while I have you here at the end of the video, make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. While you're down there, definitely let me know in the comments what you thought of the deck list. Did you also think it was going to perform much better than what it did today? And those losses, like I usually don't, I usually say like, oh, was it luck? Wasn't it? Did I play it out poorly? Like I really, like sometimes I just don't know. It's really hard to tell what's the deck list sometimes, what's me, and then what's luck. Today? In those losses, I felt unlucky. I really did. And you guys will have to let me know in the comments for sure. You also think I got unlucky. There was, like, against that mono red list, I definitely dumped too much of my early burn early. Because a lot of that really could have come in handy later on once we've established our top end, which apparently is half of the deck. Even though we only have 3 Axonils and an Urabrask, right? And a Virtue, of course, on the top here, too. But we can rearrange as you're not going to play it out as 5 often. Maybe I'm lying right now. And we're just going to have like way too much mana all the time. And so maybe you will play this out on 5, honestly. I don't know anymore. I don't know how to play Magic. No. So what would we change in the deck list? We wanted it to be a little bit more consistent because I think consistency is like the actual complaint. Like the question of me getting unlucky or not really doesn't really matter. It really comes down to how consistent was the deck. How consistently lucky can you actually be instead, right? So as far as consistency goes, cards like Wrenn's Resolve and like Reckless Impulse, that's going to really help you out. Balance the scales a little bit. Having 5 of these abilities sure didn't feel like it today. There were more often than not, we just saw more land on top, dude. So maybe we just drop down a mountain and go up a Reckless Impulse and be pretty happy about it. With ramp on the Chandra and ramp on the Flicka coin, like it's treasure ramp, so it doesn't stick around. Chandra dies pretty fast too. Man, we got some tough decisions. Let's drop that mountain. We played quite a few games today. I don't know how many games, but it felt like a lot of games. And more often than not in those games, I feel like we were just getting too much land. So 22, totally fine. And if we go up anything, we want it to be something that could find that land off the top as well. So probably that Reckless Impulse then. How do we feel about that? How's the deck list look after that? It looks fine. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of like looking at that curve, like it's already pretty sketchy with the number of 2-drops, because look at this, 22 drops. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of games where you need the 4th to do 2 2-mana things on the same turn. So is 22 mana still enough to get your 4th on time for that? Probably, because it probably doesn't need to be on time for your 4th. Turn 5, turn 6, you could also get your 4th down and probably be pretty satisfied with that. And if you're not getting your 4th on time, maybe you are successfully ramping with the Chandra or the Flick a Coin too to get your 4th in time. Oh man, tough decisions, because yeah, I thought it was going to be, it kind of felt like it should have been Wrecking Face, right? I'll tell you what, against that Selesnya Enchantments, once we found more removal for the Jukai and stuff, I thought that was going to start leaning towards us. That's tough though. Against Selesnya Enchantments, at any point they could have found like a Catilda and stuff, and Catilda's really hard to deal with for burn. And we were using that first Scorching Shot against the 3/3 Naturalist instead of like a 5/5 Catilda or something later on. So that's actually tough. Even though I had a lot of hope, maybe it was unfounded, right? Yeah, I think the double Reckless Impulse, even though the curve looks worse because there's just so many 2-drops, I think because it is Reckless Impulse and the Wrenn's Resolve that we're curving out into those 2-drops, right? I think because it is these cards that it's fine, if that makes sense. You guys will let me know in the comments. Okay, guys, hey, enough rambling, huh? Definitely let me know what you thought of the build. Urabrask was pretty sick as a 1-of, and I could also see dropping to 2 Axonils, but dude, I'll tell you what, this card is an absolute monster. If you get this established with literally any of your other cards, if you get Axonil on the board and you're not just top decking lands like we did today, then it's just an absolute beast. So I still think we want the 3, but it could be something to consider if for some reason you're just seeing it way too much. Like, again, we kind of did today as well. One of those games, it was my fault too, but I believe we won that one anyways. I kept the Axonil number 3 on top because I was anticipating more spot removal from the opponent. But at that point too, there could have been a good chance of just putting it to the bottom and flipping the Temple of Power instead. So if we found like something that dealt enough damage. Okay, guys. Yeah. Enough rambling. Well, first of all, though, hold up. If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.